Welcome to the channel. I'm Jonathan, and today we are going to be looking at just some of the artists behind the box art of your favorite collectibles. This list is in no particular order, but I really wanted to take this time to share with everyone a very small portion of the artists out there that are really not getting enough recognition and praise. I mean, in most cases, their names aren't even on the products we buy, and this is where I have to give a lot of respect to NECA for not only putting the artist's name in the box, but also telling us who sculpted the figure and even who designed the overall package. And as a fellow artist, it's nice to get a little recognition. So let's get into it. To start us off, we will look at Tristan Jones. If you are a fan of NECA products and specifically enjoying the Gargoyles collection, then you have already seen Tristan's work. But their work doesn't start and end with these new boxes of perfection. No, Tristan is also responsible for loads of Predator box art. As seen in this post, Tristan collaborates with this phenomenal colorist, Simon Go. So there's already another name to take note of. But let me add to Tristan's list by telling you about the work with Dark Horse Comics on some top-notch cover art like this Aliens work in collaboration with colorist Dan Jackson. So yeah, we are already out the gate with some amazing work and 3 names to remember. And I apologize if I get some names wrong here, but speaking of Gargoyles, Dan Veesenmeyer spent his early days doing storyboard work for Gargoyles, along with many other shows of the 90s and beyond. Perhaps most notably, he spent time on the 90s X-Men animated series. And while the list of credits goes on and on and on, the most prominent work he has blessed us collectors with would be the Marvel Legends VHS collection. And when you buy one of these VHS boxes, each a solid work of art, they happen to come with a figure inside. Well, that's a cool bonus. I'm still crossing my fingers on getting that Cyclops next year and having Dan sign the entire collection. Dan? Up next, we have Harry Moore. Harry has given us loads of packaging art, some that we see every single day on the shelves of grocery stores, or maybe in our favorite board games. Others, however, are hitting a little harder in your nostalgia bits. Like this classic X-Men Collector Edition box, these Iron Man 2 packages, this Avengers set. Those are great, but if you've been collecting the new Spider-Man figures on the retro card backs, well, then you're bringing home the beautiful artwork of Harry Moore. And check out the recently revealed Spider-Man animated series action figure VHS style packs, revealed at Hasbro PulseCon 2022. That's a nice compliment to Dan Veesenmeyer's X-Men set. Another master of Marvel box art is David Nakayama. Man, just the art on those retro card backs alone makes them worth the price. But David has done loads of work for Marvel and Hasbro, including that Squirrel Girl figure, which I want to say they should have sculpted her head based on David's art because, eesh. Unfortunately, a lot of the packages have his art off to the side rather than face forward like the card backs. Maybe that's why I really love the Retro series more than the rest of the Marvel Legends boxes. If they want to sell more of the plastic-free packages, then they really need to put David's artwork front and center. Then just put the figure with the accessories on the back. You know, make the back like a open window box, but use a render or photo of the figure. But please, be sure to look at all the work by David Nakayama and remember that name. It seems he is just about everywhere with comic cover art, box art, and so much more. Let's round this list off by heading back to NECA. This artist has a very long history of work, but in the world of collectibles, he was able to deliver the absolutely stunning cover art for our favorite NECA items, the TMNT and Universal Monster crossover. Each box is presented with original work by Daniel Horne. This is a great example of why we want the artist names on these boxes. But seeing his name and then looking him up shows me that he also created a lot of illustrations for Dungeons & Dragons and many other role-playing games. And on top of that, he has done Magic the Gathering cards. If you are a fan of classic monsters, then you will love all of Daniel's work. In fact, he has done every cover of the magazine with the very title, Classic Monsters. And just look at that first tweet from Daniel. Right to the VP of NECA, Randy Falk. A match made in heaven, or on Twitter. A match made on Twitter? A tweet made in, I don't know, whatever. These artists are putting out new products all the time. There's so much that we see in our daily lives, but forget to connect the human behind the work. I suggest following these artists on social media to see what they're sharing with the world, and I hope when you grab your next collectible, you take a moment to think about the artists behind it. Sometimes it's the art on the box that outperforms the figure inside of it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if I missed some of your favorite artists, please let me know in the comments. I would love to do another episode on more artists like this. And to get a good look at the figures inside the incredible box art, watch this video next. We'll see you next time.